from Russia following Istanbul peace talks. Russia claims the remains belong to Ukrainian citizens, including soldiers. The two nations also freed over 1,000 wounded or young prisoners of war under a large-scale exchange deal. Ukraine published images of its troops visibly injured but smiling, wrapped in national flags. Meanwhile, Russia said its forces captured the village of Yablunivka in Ukraine's northeastern Sumy region, 9 kilometers from the Russian border. Moscow says it aims to create a buffer zone. 2 more villages in Donetsk were also seized as Russia escalates battlefield gains and drone strikes. Ukrainian President Zelensky plans to urge U.S. President Donald Trump at the G7 summit to impose tougher sanctions on Moscow. Let's listen in to what President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky had to say.
Я розраховую, що у нас буде порозмова на саміті G7. І дуже розраховую, що якщо до цього не будуть прийняті відповідне рішення, що мені вдасться мати принаймні порозуміння, наскільки ми близькі до цього рішення. Важливо, що йде координація з країнами Європейського Союзу і узгодження позицій, схожих позицій щодо пакетів санкцій. Я вважаю, що це вже крок вперед.
Trump blamed both sides for stalling peace and criticized Ukraine for not compromising. Zelensky stressed U.S. sanctions remain key and said final decisions lie in the White House. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham is pushing a bill for 500% tariffs on Russian oil buyers, mainly targeting India and China. German Defense Minister Pistorius visiting Kyiv ruled out sending Taurus missiles but pledged 1.9 billion euros in military aid. Here's what Boris Pistorius, German Defense Minister, had to say.
Entstehen kann. Das ist das Ziel unserer gemeinsamen Kooperation. Wir sind da einen guten Schritt vorangekommen. Wir werden nachher eine entsprechende Vereinbarung unterschreiben, die das noch einmal absichert. Ich kann für Deutschland sagen, dass wir in dieses Jahr hineingegangen sind mit einer Unterstützung für die Ukraine in der Größenordnung von 4 Milliarden Euro. Wir haben das im Laufe der letzten Monate auf 7 Milliarden Euro aufgestockt und haben jetzt in der Planung, das ist noch nicht endgültig beschlossen, steht aber in Aussicht, einen weiteren Betrag von 1,9 Milliarden Euro, die dann in den nächsten Wochen und Monaten, wenn der Beschluss im Parlament gefasst ist, zur Verfügung stehen und aus denen unter anderem ein Teil genommen wird zur Finanzierung des Projekts Long Range Fires. Das heißt, Deutschland wird in diesem Jahr rund 9 Milliarden Euro für die Unterstützung der Ukraine zur Verfügung stellen.
Kyiv insists diplomacy won't work without pressure, warning of rising Russian attacks. Drone strikes killed civilians on both sides, including a child in Russia's Belgorod region. Moscow accused Ukraine of resisting daily POW exchanges despite agreed terms. More swaps are expected soon. Now we have guest Glenn Grant. He's an ex-advisor to Ukrainian Defense Minister, joining us live from Latvia. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome to NewsX World. Is the U.S. losing its moral leverage by calling for compromise while Russia expands its battlefield gains?
Well, I think you can fairly say that it's lost its respect in Ukraine, because Ukraine has already offered to compromise and has accepted almost everything that the Americans suggested that they should do. But they do ask the one thing, which is that there should be a ceasefire first before anything further happens, whereas Russians don't want a ceasefire at all. It's very difficult because Trump is clearly anti-Ukraine. I mean, 4 times now he said that he's given Putin 2 weeks, and 4 times he's done nothing. I do not see that Trump will put any sanctions on Russia. If he does, if he's forced to, maybe by the international community, to do something, I think that they will be extremely weak sanctions and won't actually do anything. So America is actually losing credibility in this, in terms of Ukraine, because I can stop the war in 24 hours, and here we are a long way beyond that, and actually America has done nothing to stop anything except bully Zelensky.
And Now, looking at the wider lens, what's the real objective behind Russia's buffer zone strategy in regions like Sumy? Is it defense or future annexation?
No, it's just continuing moving forward. There's no buffer strategy. In fact, I'm not even sure who came up with that idea in the first place. But Russia is now inside artillery range of Sumy and is now actually using field artillery to bombard Sumy. And that was their first aim, is to get close enough. I mean, the Russian tactic is very simple. It's destroy and move forward, destroy and move forward. So they will attempt to destroy as much of Sumy as possible, removing civilians from it so they have to flee, which a lot of them are already. And then they will just keep moving forward, take and destroy Sumy in the same way that they've taken and destroyed other towns like Bakhmut.
Thank you very much, Grant, for joining us and sharing your expertise as an ex-advisor